For 10 years, Lennox Lewis was an integral part of the world heavyweight scene. Described as risk-averse by some, working hard to earn the respect of American TV broadcasters and audiences, Lewis defeated every man that was set in front of him. His record includes multiple world title defenses and only 2 defeats, both of which were avenged in rematches. Having boxing sage Emanuel Stewart guiding him from the corner, Lewis was able to neutralize opponents, negate their strengths with his world-class left jab, and go in for the kill, using right hands and uppercuts when necessary.
There's a lot of it. Fortune is caught here and in terrible trouble, and it stopped. Oh, it stopped.
A keen chess player, Lewis was a thinking fighter, a calm strategist in and out of the ring. But when the time came to get his hands dirty, he was able to fight in the trenches as well.
You can't take that from... Big right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down!
Lewis ducked no one. He stood and fought the best of his generation and came out on top as an undisputed champion.
The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
After almost 17 years since his last professional bout, we take a look back at the destructive power of Lennox Lewis. After cementing his place as the main man on the British and European scene, Lennox Lewis was offered a stateside assignment against an experienced former world champion.
All right, remember, obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves now, let's get to it.
Weaver tried to find an opening for his right hand, but it was Lewis's own crushing right that left the American flat on his back and out in round 6.
Oh, and Weaver's down. The right hand from Lennox Lewis. 6, 7, and Weaver's not going to make it. 9, 10. A stunning 6th round knockout. The right hand from Lennox Lewis. And that is it. He lulled him asleep. Lulled him to sleep, and bingo, came out of nowhere with that great right hand right up the jab.
Boxing and an eliminator for Riddick Bowe's WBC title, Lennox Lewis and Donovan Razor Ruddock clashed in London for a shot at the big time. Once a touted prospect, Ruddock had lost 3 times, but was installed as the betting favorite. Lewis made a statement by ripping up the odds and sending the visitor packing with loss number 4.
Right hand by Lewis. Ruddock goes down. A smashing right cross with perfect accuracy behind the jab. You cannot do it better. And the wobbling Razor Ruddock makes it out of round 1.
Dropped late in round 1 and twice more in round 2, Ruddock was simply blasted away by a rampant Lewis.
Finish. Right hand to the body. Ruddock in trouble. Second knockdown of round 2.
That's all. It's over. We have a great new heavyweight on the boxing scene. Lennox Lewis may turn out to be not only the greatest heavyweight in British history, but the greatest fighter in European history. I agree.
The rain lashed down on Cardiff's National Stadium as thousands of fans braved the elements to watch 2 heavyweight rivals battle for domestic supremacy. Lewis was defending his WBC strap against big punching UK hero Frank Bruno.
No shit off either of you. Shake hands, back your corners, shake hands when you go.
Referee Mickey Van toiled to keep the bout honest as Bruno racked up points off his jab in the early going.
I think Bruno's getting the success because he's using his strength, he's forcing the fight, and he's using a very good jab. Good moments for Frank.
Suddenly, a patient Lewis hurt his man and had him on the retreat. Right hands and uppercuts turned Frank into a stationary target, and Van called off the assault in round 7.
Look at Bruno here, coming up with their left hook, catches him, and Bruno was hurt by that. And now Lewis is looking to close in to finish this, and Bruno is in trouble. Bruno is in big trouble. And Lewis carries on a relentless assault here, pouring on the punishment. These are bad moments for Frank Bruno. Right uppercut, and I think Mickey Van's going to stop it. Or is he? He's called off the assault. Well, that was a contentious incident in the fight. I thought for a moment there he was stopping that right uppercut. Lewis here, and Bruno is on the verge of going. He won't take a lot more, and this time it is stopped, and Lennox Lewis is still the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. The Battle of Britain has been won by Lennox Lewis.
Tough Justin Fortune was not in Lennox Lewis's class, and the Lion made short work of the Aussie in their Dublin showcase bout.
I spoke to both of you in the dressing room, so you both know what I want. Shake hands. Have a good one.
Carving Fortune up off the jab, Lewis landed 3 consecutive uppercuts on the chin of his minuscule opponent. The referee waved it straight off.
Lewis is wearing him down, you feel, bit by bit, stage by stage, breaking the spirit and resistance, and there's a lot of it. Fortune is caught here and in terrible trouble, and it stopped. Oh, it stopped. Even before he hit the floor, Roy Francis had decided that that was enough. In round 4, a series of punches, a cluster, classy uppercuts, and Lennox Lewis, I think, looked for business there.
He certainly did. He looked very fast. That was a tremendous finish. 3 right uppercuts, all rocked the head of Fortune back. I think the referee did the right thing, calling it off there. They were very hurtful punches.
Much like his life outside the ring, most fights involving Tommy Morrison were a wild ride. His 1995 clash with Lennox Lewis proved no exception.
Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on!
Morrison had been scheduled to fight Lennox for a bumper WBC title tilt in 1994, before being knocked out by underdog Michael Bent in a huge heavyweight shocker.
All those punches were blocked by Lennox Lewis's arms. And there's a monumental uppercut. Morrison went to one knee. Lane calls it a knockdown, correctly so.
Lewis floored the Duke 4 times in total, as referee Mills Lane saved a busted-up Morrison from further punishment in the 6th.
After taking a terrible beating.
Lane's getting very close to a stoppage here. You get that sense. Down goes Morrison again, and I wonder if Mills has seen enough. There is no 3 knockdown rule in effect. That's the 4th knockdown of the fight, and that'll do it.
A terrific performance by Lennox Lewis. Defensively, he kept that right hand up.
Emmanuel Stewart has been saying for the past few months, there isn't a heavyweight on the planet who could last 8 rounds with Lennox Lewis.
Whenever erratic Polish heavyweight Andrew Galata entered the ring, few knew what was about to take place. Fighting after back-to-back disqualification losses to Lewis's arch-rival, Riddick Bowe, Galata was rightly viewed as a very real threat to Lewis in this Atlantic City pay-per-view.
I want a clean fight from both of you, understood? You understood, Andrew? Lennox? Okay, touch him up.
Lewis made a mockery of those projections, smashing Galata to pieces inside the very first round.
Galata momentarily stunned. Left hook by Lewis. Galata goes down.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think Galata's ready. This is over. This fight is over. The referee should stop it already.
Cortez gave Galata a lot of time, but he has absolutely nothing as Lewis pounds him to the canvas again.
He won't make
That's it. That's it. Tremendous statement by Lennox Lewis.
A big statement.
He's been waiting for years, and it finally happened.
Long before he spent his time crashing press conferences and chasing world champions across the world, Shannon Briggs was a worthy contender and legitimate threat to top-level operators.
Dressing room, I want you to protect yourself at all times. Is there any questions from the Lewis? Any questions from Briggs? Both of you stop. Both of you touch gloves. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Making the 3rd defense of his WBC title, Lewis and his challenger excited a raucous crowd of nearly 10,000 as they met in the center of the ring to duke it out.
Both fighters too tired to finish it, and Briggs is down again.
Briggs' early success waned as the bout progressed, and Lewis took control.
And Briggs is down. It may be it. He was blocked.
The cannon was shot down in the 5th round after swinging himself off balance.
On his face. How many times does he have to put Briggs down before this will be over? These are big shots by Briggs.
He's getting hit with shots by Lewis. Uppercut, left hook, the right hand. Briggs goes down on his own accord, and it's over. He's telling Frank Cappuccino, I slipped. Frank Cappuccino says, I don't care.
You come back another day,
A ferocious fight between Lennox Lewis and Shannon Briggs, and that was entertainment in the highest order. A short fight can also be sweet.
Picked by some as the next great American hope at heavyweight, Michael Grant could certainly punch. Unfortunately for the likable big man, even though he matched Lennox Lewis for size, Grant had never faced anyone on this level before.
Let's have a nice clean fight. Good luck to the both of you.
Lewis bombarded the challenger with 3 first-round knockdowns.
Big shot! Left hook, right hand, knockdown number 3.
Grant made it to the second session, but his future potential was brutally shattered by a Lennox right uppercut.
Big uppercut by Lewis. Grant is down and in deep trouble. It's over, a knockout victory. Lewis leaned in and got a little bit more on that uppercut.
Returning to fight in the UK for the first time since his shock KO loss to Oliver McCall in 1994, Lewis was never likely to suffer any trouble from Franz Botha.
At all times, good luck to both of you. God bless you both, and may the best man win.
The South African was solid and capable, but placed down in the rankings for a reason, and Lewis was an overwhelming favorite.
There's a right hand, and Botha's knees were bent by that. He nearly went over from it.
Wary of his opponent's quick hands, Lewis softened Botha up with his left jab, before finishing the self-styled White Buffalo with a crunching combination in round 2.
Isn't working there at the moment. What he's doing is working. It's a big right hand, and it stumps Botha halfway out of the ring. Huge shot. Botha down, and in a bad way with what? Under half a minute to go in round 2. Walk towards me, says Larry O'Connell, who stops the fight. He stopped it. Lewis wins again in round 2 and hands out his own version of capital punishment. The home banker has come up.
Oh, what a combination that was. What a right hand to finish it off. He just slumped through the ropes, and the White Buffalo was down.
Following his shock loss to Hasim Rahman in South Africa, Lennox Lewis was determined to reclaim his WBC and IBF titles, and stated that the American had simply got his belts on loan.
Obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. God bless you. God bless America. Touch him up.
Rahman was forcibly made to hand back those straps in Las Vegas. As a focus, Lewis erased the ghosts of April 2001 with a dominant display.
This is a Lennox Lewis who's commanding the space in the ring in exactly the same way he did not do it in South Africa.
While Rahman's first fight finisher may have been a lucky punch, there was nothing lucky about the thumping right hand Lennox landed on him in round 4 of the rematch.
Rahman, if he punches, just keep your hands high. They're telling him not to counterpunch. Boom! Will Rahman get up, or have the tables been turned? Is it reversed?
7, 8, 9.
It's over. Lennox Lewis got revenge. Has captured his revenge. And now it's Rahman complaining in the corner. Lennox Lewis fought a virtually perfect fight.
It took a few years to finally get these two heavyweight behemoths in the same ring. But despite being at an advanced stage of their respective careers, when Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson shared a ring, the world was watching in anticipation.
We're underway. Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Would Tyson be able to conjure up the powers that once made him such a destructive force one last time? Not on Lewis's watch.
Had a knockout past the 7th round. Lennox Lewis tripling Mike Tyson with a big uppercut, and Eddie Cotton separates the fighter.
The Londoner rode out a rough start to outbox Tyson and chop him down with a classic right hand in the 8th round.
Oh, he's doing a good job. He's got heart. You can't take that from him. Big right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down for the 3rd time in his career. 6, 7, 8. It's over. Lennox Lewis cements his legacy as one of the best heavyweight champions of this era.
Nobody should be able to, there's no one in the world can take that from Lennox Lewis now. He is no doubt the best heavyweight of all time. What he's done clearly puts him on top of the heap.